in all the lab work, every trips tight end offense, every bunch offense, every compression-based tight offense you face, you've got the lockdown for it. But for some reason, it's those pesky players that always come out in the empty sets that give a lot of defensive players hell. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys a very, very easy concept that I've introduced before here on this channel that can really help you shut down these spread 2x3 offenses. Let's get into it. What is up, guys? Dan from the Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to show you guys how to shut down those spread empty offenses that players like to audible to whenever they're in a pinch. Now, you guys have faced it. Those bunch players that don't really run the best bunch, those trips tight end players that really only know how to throw crossers, the bunch tight end players that when PA boot over gets bagged, they all go to an empty set. And for some reason, those are the offensive formations that a lot of players struggle with containing. And the reason for that is that a lot of players like to be able to quick pass to one of the three inside slot receivers in these empty formations. So what we're going to do here today is we're going to show you guys a little bit of a trick that you can run against these empty sets that will take away all of their quick passing lanes right when they snap the ball while guaranteeing you some pressure. So I'm going to show this to you from a couple of different defensive play styles. I'm going to show this to you out of a 4-down lineman nickel. And I'm also going to show this to you out of like a dollar style defense, or a defense that has maybe 4 defensive backs on the field. So let's go ahead and get into it. Obviously, you guys know how this game is played. Really, really popular for a lot of players to go to like verticals or something like that, try to throw skinny posts and seam routes down the middle. So let's go ahead and show you what I like to do. So if you guys recall, early on in the year and throughout Madden history, I've always been a big fan of an audible trick in which you can walk the safeties down into the box and then audible into literally anything that you want. So let's go ahead and show this to you out of, say, a formation like the nickel normal. And for me, I'm a big player that likes to run match, but you guys can do this out of zone as well. So I'm going to set a couple of different audibles here. Let's go ahead and set like a cover 4 quarters, maybe set like a hybrid style coverage, like maybe a cover 6. And then we'll also leave Tampa 2 in the audibles just for those players that like to run, you know, like a cover 2 or a zone drop space defense. So what we're going to do here is we are going to choose a play that walks safeties down into the box. You'll find that most formations that are nickel or dime or dollar should have a play where a safety or both safeties walk down in the box. So for the purpose of this, I'm going to call the double safety blitz, which looks like it would get absolutely torched by a spread offense. In fact, it would, but we're not going to stay in this. So we're going to call the nickel normal, and you're going to see right here that these safeties automatically walk down in the box. Now, unfortunately, in practice mode, we do not have this option, but I would recommend for this particular tip to have your coach settings set to base align. And what that's going to do is that's going to leave your linebackers in the box. So what happens is you break the huddle, it looks like this, and then the safeties walk down further. From there, what you could do is go ahead and audible into any play that you want. So for you zone players, maybe it's a Tampa 2 style defense. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and pinch our line and pinch our linebackers. And then you could go ahead and blitz one of those linebackers, and you're going to be able to get guaranteed pressure off of the edge. So with this particular concept, your user can then sit in the middle of the field, look for the drag, while both of these safeties rotate out of the box and allow you to kind of take away those quick passes down the seams. So what we end up with is a defense that looks like this when the ball is snapped. You notice here that we get the free edge pressure, and we're able to kind of sit on that inside tight end route over the middle on the little hitchy double move. So again, if we go into the instant replay, you can kind of see how this looks. You don't have to sit in this base coverage call. If you want to hot route guys into different zones, you can. If you want to individually man guys up, you can. Or you could just kind of mix up what play you're audibling into. But again, as you kind of look at this, we snap the ball. If you wanted to hike throw either seam, you've got a safety right basically here, and then you got a safety basically right here. Now, obviously on the outsides, you do have potential for those streaks to get wide open because they can run past those cloud flats. So you definitely need to be careful with what you're doing in this particular concept. If you guys are enjoying this free YouTube content, I would strongly urge you to go over to my strategy website. GridironGameplans.gg is your one-stop source for all things competitive Madden. Every week in our Vault Update, we take a look at the meta, or the most effective tactics available being used by pro players on the MCS circuit, breaking down not only how and why the pros do what they do, but most importantly, how you can counter those metas when you face them in online gameplay. On top of that, your subscription also includes any and every offensive and defensive game plan released on the website while your subscription is active. and access to our Discord server, where every single Wednesday we have a live lab session covering the week's vault content and any questions you guys have about Madden. So make sure you guys head over to gridirongameplans.gg. $9.95 per month unlocks the entire website. If we go back into our play call menu, what you're going to notice here is we're going to be able to call maybe like a cover 2 sink, which can have, you know, a soft squat, run the sideline with somebody. So instead of Tampa 2, you might go ahead and try to look for, you know, some sort of cover 2 play that has those soft squat zones on the outside. So right here, cover 2 sink is perfect. So let's go ahead and show you that again. We're going to call whatever play on offense. It's just empty spread. And we're going to call this double safety blitz. We're going to make sure that it's on baseline, so your linebackers are in the box already. And you're going to check into cover 2 and then go ahead and pinch your linebackers, crash your defensive line up. You can blitz either linebacker, does not matter. Here on the left, our soft squat will run with DK Metcalf if he runs a streak. Here on the right, you might be better off putting B into like a outside quarter, and then maybe putting this guy right here into a curl flat. That allows you to kind of invert on that side and kind of have a little bit stronger coverage down the trip side of the field. But again, as you kind of see this right here, the line slides in and we can completely bag the one option that they'll really have to throw to, which is, of course, the tight end. So when you take a look at the way we set this up, this actually patched up the Tampa 2 from the previous play. So again, you see right here how this looks pretty well shut down. Maybe you throw the X route over the middle. But in terms of everything else, there's really no throwing lanes open. You can't really hike throw the seam to the left. You have nothing in the seam to the right. Our users underneath the tight end. The corner route doesn't have time to get open. Everything looks pretty good on this play. Now, if you don't feel like you have enough time, that's where you could go ahead and check into some of these hybrid style calls. So for instance, I really am a fan of obviously the cover 6 quarters. I like palms. I like cover 9. Those are all coverages I really like, because we have the ability to kind of play some match. So on the left side, we got cover 2 sink, kind of like we did last play. And on the right, we actually created, you know, just basically this would be kind of a cover 4, which would actually have some palms rules to it. But in this situation, we have the ability to kind of do the same thing here. And we've got some match coverage to the right, and we got some, you know, cover 2 sink to the left. But again, this ball snapped, you get pressure, you can kind of jump over the middle. Looks pretty good, right? You know, they're not going to hike throw the ball right down the middle of the field, which is what most players love to do. Now, when you factor in with this particular look, when somebody sees this look where both safeties rotate down, 9 out of 10 players immediately think, oh, this is that cover 0 double safety blitz. And they would be right, because that is what we're breaking the huddle in. But because we are able to basically check into whatever we want, and then kind of, you know, set this up, we could really be in a number of different things. So, you know, the possibilities are endless. Now, what's really cool about this, and we talked about this early on this year, was that this particular concept also applies to other formations in the game. So let's say for whatever reason, I wanted to get into, you know, kind of a hybrid coverage, or maybe like a blitz look that looks really scary, right? Let's say that for whatever reason we wanted to call mid blitz, but we wanted to rotate our safeties down. You might be able to do something like that. You might have to pay attention to what your alignments look like when you do this, but let's say you call that double safety blitz and you actually do want to bring the mid blitz. You could go ahead and then audible into a different formation. And then you see right here that your safeties still rotate down in the box. Now, the one difference here was this one kind of backed up. This definitely looks like a cover 0 blitz, so be careful about checking into another cover 0 blitz off of this. I think that you're better off kind of checking into, you know, some zone coverage based looks here. Again, you can kind of play, you know, a coverage that looks like this and still be able to bring some pressure, you know, with this mid blitz look, because they aren't gonna be able to block 6 with, you know, 5. So in this situation, you could kind of lurk right here. You know, you have some options available to you on this. You know, you play something maybe a little bit like this and kind of chill over here. That way you're still screaming, you know. So there are different things you can do with this style of defense, short of just showing a 0 blitz and bringing everybody. If you want to generate pressure, you can actually kind of, you know, hide some throwing lanes. Now, I've shown this to you out of 4 down linemen. Let's go ahead and show this to you out of like a dollar or a dime style defense. So again, you're going to be looking in your dollar package for some sort of defense that walks the safeties down. There are a number of different rotations in the dollar. You've got one where it just walks down the left safety, the free safety zone blitz. You've got one that walks down the right safety, which is the strong safety zone blitz. You've got a play that walks down both, which is double safety go. And then you actually get into an entirely different coverage rotation that's really crazy looking, known as Okie. So you have an Okie roll 2, you've got an Okie roll 3, you've got a strong corner 2 fire, which is kind of a cat blitz. But let's stick again here for the purpose of this. Let's stick with kind of that dollar meta. You guys like to run this DB fire 2. So we're going to run that as an audible, right? But what we're going to do is call that double safety go. We'll call an empty set. And then again, you're just going to audible into, obviously you want your baseline on, you're going to audible into your DB fire 2, which is going to allow you to walk those safeties down. Now, here's the issue with this. If you end up doing any coverage adjustments on this play, like say for instance, with a lot of players that run DB fire 2, they like to press. If you press, those safeties will rotate back out of the box. And then you're just right in DB fire 2. So that's not a great thing. So what I'm going to kind of teach you here is a little bit of an advanced trick, if you guys are quick on the sticks, that can allow you to press those slot corners that are blitzing, but not move the safeties back out. So again, here we have the baseline setting on. They're going to go ahead and walk down in the box as they normally would. We're then going to check into DB fire 2. Now, again, we cannot press, right? But what you can do is you can individually press. So in order to do this, you're going to press Y on your controller. It's going to bring up the individual adjustments. Once you've brought up this coverage adjustments menu, you're then going to hit A for individual, which is going to bring up all of the wide receiver icons. To be able to press the left side corner, you're going to hit Y for lock it, and then you're going to flick the right stick down, which is going to walk that blitzing corner individually down towards the edge. You can then do the same trick with the other slot receiver, which is right bumper, and you're going to rotate down over him. And what this now does is this gives you the ability to be in this blitz with both of your seams kind of occupied. Again, you could go ahead and kind of hybridize your coverage. I think that soft squats are fine on 2 receiver sides. I worry about getting beat down the sideline on trip sides. But with this particular concept now, they can't throw right down the seam on you, and you could kind of bring this, cover 2 zone blitz that doesn't allow them to roll out, kind of confine them to the pocket. You see right there, we're able to kind of scream at the quarterback. Right there, his agile extender kind of made him break the sack right there, because that's Russell Wilson's ability, but it does allow you to do this. So this is a concept that you can apply to a defense that's really meta, like the DB Fire 2. Now, keep in mind that I mentioned that we have these other exotic packages. So for instance, if you wanted to kind of get crazy with this and just give your opponent some really, really confusing looks, you might go ahead and dabble with some of these Okie plays, or maybe the strong corner 2 fire. I'll kind of show you what those look like. If you check into those plays, you see here how the safeties like rotate, and you get this like weird kind of cover 2 rotation where the nickel corner is now back at safety. So you might want to kind of be careful with this. Again, you could individually press out of this. If you were doing something like this, honestly, you would really have to get aggressive with, how you're playing off of this. Maybe kind of create a little bit of a hybrid coverage here. Do something kind of like this, and then, you're still in a spot where you can go ahead and blitz off the edge. Obviously, your user would have to go hard over to the left here in this setup. But again, when this ball snaps, you can kind of get out here, user, you're looking for something to be disrupted here with this. But again, it's really, really important that you guys understand, how this coverage works. This can be kind of crazy if you check into, DB Fire 2. You might go ahead and kind of give this look, but then drop, for instance, a cover 2 invert, over here to the right, and then, rotate this guy into center. And then, you can kind of drop just kind of an exotic coverage out of this. But again, it's up to you. You can create some different coverage looks out of this, rush 3. You see right there, we're able to get to the quarterback. Kind of do some crazy things that take away those traditional hike and just chuck it down the seam principles that so many players in empty type offenses use. So hopefully this video is beneficial for you guys. I showed it to you out of a 4-down lineman look and a 3-down lineman look. There should be something that you can cook up with this tip that can confuse those players. Again, with how simple their minds are when they go to the empty. If you can kind of take away those throwing lanes, they will crumble. So hopefully you guys liked today's video. If you did, make sure you guys give it a like. Make sure you guys subscribe here to the channel. I think we're pushing up towards 11,000. I think we're like 400 away from 11,000. So thank you for the support, guys. We'll see you guys with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.